Hello, welcome again for another race. Here this time it's in Canada, and you're looking at Q1 of a very, or not very wet, but a wet qualifying. And my car was a piece of shit in the weather. No surprise there. There was absolutely no grip whatsoever, not on turn-in, not on traction. So getting into Q2 would be a struggle. Also, cars coming out of the pit line wasn't going to help me at all. And look, even in this corner, I have to sort of lift to keep it in line. The funny thing was, like on my first hot lap, I was quick in the middle sector, or quick in the first sector, but slow in the second sector, and then this lap is actually the other way around. And that was another lap I was going to go for later on in the session, but first, this is the fastest lap I did in this session, and you will see why soon enough. The only thing that's solid is braking, but even getting the turn in here is a nightmare. The car just constantly wants to follow away from me, and actually you see I made up half a second in the middle sector alone somehow over the previous lap, so I think I am running in high mix here, for better or for worse. Attacking the curves and letting it roll through it. This game's pretty lenient with how much you can take. Catapult yourself over the curves now. So let's go. 17th time at the moment. 121 or 125, sorry. 175. So nothing, nah, kind of shit basically. So here we are. This is my final attempt, or at least getting ready for my final attempt. And I go up. There goes my final attempt. Because with a lack of front grip in the car that already lacks front grip, I'm not going to do any better than I have right now. So I just gave up, and I figured I have a good car to race with.
Session over, and that's 18th place. Not the result we were hoping for.
So we're going to go for it. So here we are in the racing car. Changing my setup to what I had in the dry. The game did actually automatically switch me to a nano engine though, without me having to do it, so I did actually remember to think about swapping engines during practice, but the game already did it for me. So there you go, Lewis on top, Rosberg only in 4th, and Felipe Massa having a good qualifying for the Williams in 5th. And the rest of the grid, Vern made it up to 12th. And the two outstanding results in a negative way are Bottas in 17th and me in 18th. So we both had a terrible Saturday. And here I'm gonna flip around a little bit with the tyre strategy. Tyre wear has always been pretty low here for me versus the AI cars, so maybe it's the same here, but again, the Toro Rosso is a pretty high tyre wear car, so I'm not sure I will be able to make it last. So we're gonna see what the race will bring us, what pace we can do, and how long we can make these first tyres last. So we'll get them to, like, for instance, lap 15. I might be able to pull off a one-stopper. And if not, if all the other AI cars do two-stoppers, it might be safe to follow the same strategy, since the pit time loss here is very, very low, because you can get into the pit lane full speed, and you have an advantage coming out of the pit lane as well. So Bottas to my left. Pretty decent run off the line. Can't really take a nice line here, so I'm just gonna worm my way in, make contact with the Sauber to my left, Sutil. Very narrow, up to 16th already. Very, very aggressive start, I can already tell you, because I was annoyed still from the qualifying session. Braking very late, tapping the McLaren button. Not being very nice here. Another late, and can I get Raikkonen? No, I can't. Clean overtake on button though. And we can almost smell the points. Button wants to go straight past me. Of course, that corner where we just got out of is the slowest corner for me. Yeah, squeeze him out here to go. Oh, too much curb. And the full tank makes me run. Yeah, throws the back head off a bit. So that was a bit of an issue early on. Going to high mix for the straight. So yeah, the only real issue I have in this game, or at least the most major issue I have in this game, is traction in getting out of the corners, getting through corners, and mid-speed corners, like going through a hairpin corner where you can't really touch the throttle anyway. Oh, I've been really naughty on the curb, I see. Two guys in front of me messed up, allowing me probably to outbrake maybe 1-2 guys into the points. There goes Raikkonen, Perez, oh, and the McLaren really slow. Ooh. Squeeze him on the outside of Perez. On the outside, we got the traction now. He's still with me, he's still with me. He's going to back out for the corner. Yes, he is. And I'm into 8th. So into the points, very well done. Let's zip ahead a little bit. Lap 3 then. Let's see if we can follow pace. Looks decent so far. Hulkenberg is ahead of me, 1.6 seconds ahead. That's at my personal best time. And there we go, a lap later, or a couple of laps later, lap 7. We're mighty close to him. A bit too far back now, as I almost lose the car. But looks like our car possesses some decent pace. Lap 8, so we're later on in the lap 10. DRS opens for the first time on Hulkenberg. Of course, they're quick in the middle sector, they pulled away from me, but a bit too far away. I have to brake really, really hard. I touch the back, get too much curb, and I lose the rear. And having to fend from Perez, who's now on the right of me. And I kind of squeeze him off there, and going in too hot. And having to wait another lap. Lap later now, going into lap 9, braking hard. And oh, I lose the car a bit, but I don't think I heard my contact. And we're up a place, 7th place. Ricciardo's ahead of me. I don't see myself catching him very much. So a lot of people have pitted. I was supposed to pit in lap 10, but I've stayed out until lap 14. As you can see, I am struggling a bit now, so may have been one lap too long. I'm not going to reach 15 laps. I'll probably lose too much. Staying out one more. So we're going with a 2-stopper, but I don't have to do as long a prime stint, which is good, since of course they're slow. It's best to stay in the options since they're a decent margin quicker. Now Alonso actually was I was able to keep him behind me, but it turns out he had a problem, probably on the braking, as you will see. Soon enough, there he goes. Now you'll see, there's Raikkonen. He's ahead of me. There's Alonso far in the distance. And I got so much more pace out of the pit lane. Boom, there you have it. So, doing good. 7th place after the first line of pit stop. Oh, there he goes very slowly through the corner, and a sort of did not see it coming, brake very late, sort of a dive bomb move, unexpected dive bomb move, but we're up a place into 6th now, and Felipe Massa ahead of us. He's still got good traction, but he stops, starts, or at least letting go of the throttle very early on. So he has a braking issue. There you go, the Force India easily outbrakes him into the hairpin, and I think it's probably Perez behind him again. Perez on the options behind me now, so if I keep him behind me, I will be doing good, since I'm on the slower tyre. Going deep here, that's not good. Ooh, lose the car. This is what happens in these 2 corners. It's almost like every track has a corner for me like this. Well, the AI is so much better than me, and the 2014 cars just enhance that effect. Like in the last year's cars, I could at least sort of, if I do it right, sort of manage. There you saw Massa being held up by Kobayashi, allowing me to close the gap dramatically in a very short distance, but I was actually a tenth or so faster. So I was doing a quicker pace than him. He's on the options as primes as well, sorry. Good exit. Hopefully in DRS. Do we have him? Yes, we do have him in DRS range. Is it enough? Catching him quick though in the rev limiter. Going for it. Side by side. Gave him barely enough space. I think he had to cut the chicane a little bit. Game school with it. And off into 5th even. Can we do more? Not like a little moment there on the exit of the hairpin. Felipe Massa's actually picked up the pace again after allowing to create a gap. So lap 23. It's pretty much where I want to be. So 12 laps left for the options, which should be nice and relatively easy to manage since I did a 14 lap stint on high fuel. And the conditions were less sunny, means the track will provide less grip for me. A usual 3.7 pit stop. Where do I come out? Into 7th again. 8th even. That was important, and I do slot in right in front of Massa. Massa's on the primes again. And I'm on the options, so John Felipe, so these guys ahead still have to pit. Net wise, I should be good for 5th place. To Rushas going slow.
The car behind is on a harder tyre, so he's meant to be slower. We're going to need you to build a gap if you can.
Very nicely there through the chicane. Almost thought about going for a late dive bomb. Can't quite do it. If I can make a good run out of this one, I can. Slightly better exit. Side by side into the corner, making sure I leave space for him. Bit daring again, but we're up 6th. Kobayashi going slow. So other people have made a pit stop. I think that was Hülkenberg who still at the pit, so I'm back into 5th. But Ricardo is uncatchable. He's moving away from me. There you go, 14 seconds. There's Alonso again. Going very, very slow. Almost rammed into him. Hamilton proves the fastest lap of the race at the moment, but Rosberg is still in the lead at this time. Like Rosberg is going for a 6th win this season. Kobayashi going very slow on the hairpin again as well on the 2nd to last lap. So I'll just take it slow again. This time I saw it coming. No issue whatsoever. So there you go, bit uneventful. Have to manage the gap, which I was able to do. Rosberg finishes, wins for the 6th time this year. Or this season, not really this year. No, yeah, technically this year. This race was recorded on the 29th of December. Taking a bit slow. I still have over 4 seconds of a gap towards Massa. Ricardo just pulling away. 3.9 here. It's relatively easy, almost I should say. I had better pace than I actually was expecting. I was hoping to get into the points, but another 5th place after Monaco's 5th place. That I was not expecting. but any bit welcome. The guy's very happy. So after the pole in qualifying, I made up a lot of ground. So an impressive race result. Far ahead of my teammate in 12. He's still without points in this season. Bottas also did really well, coming to 11th from 17th place, but he's a lap down now with the points. So that's another 10 points. So in 2 races, scored 20 points. Wow, that is quite a surprise. But yeah, we had I think 1 DNF. Alonso actually did finish the race in 18th, I believe. We will see that in a moment. Yes, 17th actually, there you go. 2 laps down. And it was the DNF. Magnussen, Kevin Magnussen has a DNF. So maybe his brakes failed completely. Who knows? There you go.
You've moved into 7th position in the Drivers' Championship.
Okay, up a place. I think I jumped Sergio there, and maybe even Kevin. Checking what the achievement is. Like, oh yeah, I raced on every Grand Prix or something. Can you imagine how little I relatively played this game? Don't play it on a daily basis like many of my fellow league members do. Basically did this once every so weeks. I've done a few in a row to gain some time ahead, so to speak. And if the car feels a bit more racy, it's a little bit more fun, because I don't have to constantly defend all the time. Sort of get them at a relatively distance, which was fun. So Toro Rosso in 5th place now in the constructors as well, so that's all much higher. I will certainly drop. I'm very much expecting so too. So good stuff. I think Silverstone is next, so I hope to see you guys for that one. Bye bye.